Okay, now I'm going to do a demonstration and show you how to bring in a couple videos and add some text over the top of it, some numeral text. And I've got some videos ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do, this is my my After Effects user interface. I'm going to click over here under Project, and I'm going to right click and say New Composition. I'm going to title this Final. And that creates this final down here where I'm going to import video up here, and I'm going to drag it down into this this composition, this final composition. So I'll hit Command I or Control I on a PC, and I'm going to hold down my Shift key and get both of these videos and click Open. I'm going to drag the first one down in here into my final composition, and this was shot vertically, but I wanted to fill the screen, so I'm going to pull this figure over here, and I'm going to zoom this out a little bit smaller so you can see. I'm going to grab the corner, hold down my Shift, and pull that to size it to roughly to that area. Okay, I'm going to pull them right down so his face is in there. All right, I'm going to zoom this up a little bit with this slider down here so I can see more of my video. And this is the timeline. This is my playhead, this blue line that I can drag across here, and it's going to show the motion. If I hit the space bar on my computer, it makes it play. Okay, so it pans away from his face and then pans to the top of this little truck and kayak. I'm going to hit my space bar to pause it. I want this figure to stay a little bit more up into my video. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to reveal, click this little arrow and reveal the attributes for this movie. And the important one is transform. And we're going to look at position. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of my video and I'm going to hit this little circle, click on this, and that's going to set this keyframe right here to say this is where the position where it's going to start. Then I'm going to pull my playhead, click and drag out to the end here, and I'm going to click up and click and hold up in my video, and then hold down my Shift key and bring that figure right up into visibility up there. And you can see this line right here. That's the direction that the position is going to move, or it's going to change as it goes across time. So as I pull this back, you're going to see it slides up that line. Okay, I'm going to close this out, this transform, and close this, and I've got my first video in there. Okay, now I'm going to drag the second piece of video in, and you can't see it right now because it's on the bottom. These two are stacked right now, so I'm going to click and drag in on this part of the video and just pull it out to the end. Put it right, have it start right at the end of the last video. So I'll hit my space bar and it's going to play through. You can see this little green line down there filling in. That's pre-rendering so that it will render more smoothly. And then it comes in on the second video. It jumps in there. And I'm not going to worry about sizing this one up right now. I'm just going to let it be the way it is. We'll let it finish out so it renders it. Okay, and I'll hit spacebar to stop. Right now we want to get some text in here, so I'm going to drag all the way back to the beginning. This is highlighted in white, so I'm going to click off of there because you can't put new text in unless everything is deselected, so that means deselected those gray, dark gray bars instead of the white one. I'm going to go up to my type tool up here, this T. I'm going to click in my composition, and I'm going to type just the numeral 1. And I'm going to go get my move tool up here, this little arrow, and pull. Let's zoom up a little larger now. And I'm going to, I'd like to pull this down. There we go. I'm going to pull this over to the side, and I'm going to grab the corner, and then hold down my Shift key, and I'm scaling it up to about there. There's a numeral 1. Because you mentioned something about wanting to put in time indication indication or day indications. So the fact that I created this one, you can see that it goes all the way across this video timeline because it doesn't know how long we want it on the stage, and we only want it as long as this first video. So I'm going to take the slider and slide all the way out to the end, and I'm going to, you can see my cursor change out there. I'm going to click and I'm going to drag the width in all the way back to the beginning and then size it right to that video. So when I hit the space bar, there it is. It's sitting stationary because we haven't moved it, and it's on top of that other video. And it's going to go away as soon as this video is done. All right. Now I'm going to shorten this just a little bit so that at the beginning, the one doesn't come in right away. All right. Now I'm going to click off of here, and I'm going to go up and get my type tool, and I'm going to click out of my composition and put 2. Although I don't want it that small, I want it to be exactly the same size as my first one. So I'm going to click back here on my number 1, and I'm going to see that that was 207 pixels. Over here in my character attributes, it's telling me that's 207 pixels for that numeral 1. And I'm going to go back to numeral 2, and I'm just going to maybe one wasn't. Let's see. One is 207. Okay, we'll come to the 2, highlight it, double click it. Oh, it's because my scale is different. All right, we can figure this out. We're going to go down to this 1. We're going to go to transform. Scale is 312.8% of the original. So we're going to click up on number 2, reveal its transform, and we're going to remember what I said that was. 312.8. So if I go in here on scale and I type in 312.8, hit enter, get my move tool, I can drag it down into my composition. You can see that it's the same size as that 1. I'm going to place it right over the top. I'm going to slide out to the end out here, click, and drag that all the way back to my beginning. And we'll close these down so I can see everything else. And I want this one to start at the beginning of my second video. So then I'll click and drag that out. And let's start a little bit off of it. All right, so I've got 2 numerals in, 2 videos. I'm going to drag my blue line playhead back to the beginning, hit the space bar. There comes the 1. Then it's going to switch to the other video. It's going to give it about a second, and then comes the 2. And that's how you put in multiple text and multiple pieces of video. You hit the space bar to stop, and you can just keep going from there.